Welcome back. In this part we are going to do some level select, and of course that starts after the fade. Quick couple of announcements before we actually get to the code. First thing is this book is still available, Python Pygame, Raspberry Pi game development, and A-Press asked me if I wanted to get involved in writing another book, and I said yes. And so here's the other one, which is Unity Networking Fundamentals. So creating multiplayer games within Unity. I wrote the first half of this book. I actually co-wrote it with Kajendra, and he wrote the rest of the book. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. I did a couple of examples at the start, so it's all about TCP connections in C#, how to sort of get a weather app, and then there's a tic-tac-toe game in there as well, and then later on in the book it shows you how to create a maze game. But yeah, it's all in here. It's not particularly thick, but it covers quite a lot of ground. But yeah, this is out now. Link will be in the show notes below. Thanks. We're back. It's been a while, so I'm going to try and remember how to do all this stuff. Okay, so we have our level in the game, but we want to be able to choose the different levels. So currently we're showing the water level, so we get H2O. So we want to be able to choose the different levels. So these are all inside here. So we get water, methane, methanol, ethylene, I think that's supposed to be ethylene, and so on. And so we want to be able to choose those from there. So I'm going to create a new scene. So I'm just going to go to the file, new scene, and then it's going to be basic built-in. Just empty scene. Okay, no. Let's just do this. And then I'm going to create a canvas. Where are we? Canvas, and then this canvas is going to be basically the sort of size of the screen. Canvas scalar, scale the screen size, and we'll make that 450 because it's usually going to be a 16 by 9, and then we'll scale it equally, width and height, and then 100 pixels is good enough. And so I just want to do a basic loader just now. So that is going to involve loading the file, which is this line here, and then once that file is loaded, I'm then going to populate a grid view with the list of items. So the first thing I need to do is create a panel. So I'll create a panel like that, and then I will attach a grid layout to it. So I'm going to go to here, grid layout group, and then the cell size is going to be 100 by 100, good enough. And then I'm going to create a game object, which is also a panel, and I'm going to make that maybe I don't want it to be 100 by 100. Maybe I don't want another panel. Let me get rid of that panel. Okay, so this panel here I'll just call levels panel. Just call it level panel, and then I'll create an image here, which is going to be 100 by 100. Perfect. And so that's going to fit X number of these in here. I'm actually going to remove this just now. I'm going to remove it later on, but I'm going to set it up so it's going to show the level data and everything like that. So the image is actually going to be a level icon. I'm going to make it a prefab. That is what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to zoom in on that. I just press the F key there. And then I'm going to create a text mesh pro text. And I'm just going to make this level name, and then that's going to fit inside here like so, and that's the center of it there. and then we obviously want to make it not white so we can see it, and then we want to bring down the font size as well because it's got to fit on one line. There we go. Okay, so there's level name, fits on one line, and we'll center it there, and then that's good to go. And then we'll call this level name. Okay, and then we're going to have create folder menus, and then we'll have level icon controller. I do like my controller names. It's a very, very posh name for basically a bit of code that I'm going to put on things so that I can attach other things to. This is a mono behavior, and I'm going to say public text mesh pro dot text mesh pro GUI level name. And is that all I really need there? I think that's all I need on there. And then we go back to level icon, and we add our component, which is going to be a level controller. And oh shoot, it's got to be public. It is public. Why is it not? What? Where is my... Why is this not public? Oh, that is weird. Is it because it's level? Nah, it's not because of that, is it? Well, there you go. So if you add an underscore, today I learned, if you add an underscore, it doesn't get exposed. So I'm going to put that there. And it's good to go. And then the scenes, scenes, and then we're going to call this level select. And we also want to have like an on click as well. So this one here, what does this have? I just wondering if this got like an on raycast target. Okay, we don't want this to be a raycast target. This is the important part. We don't want it to be a raycast target, which means that we're not going to be able to click on it. We want to be able to click on the actual image here. So I'm gonna say private image, which is inside Unity UI. Image equals get component image image dot click. Does it not have a click? I'm sure it's got a click. Do you know what? Actually, I don't want that. I don't want an image. I want a button on here. So I'm going to add a button script to this because that would be what the purpose of components is. So I'm going to add a button to there. I don't really care about all that stuff just now, but I do care that this is a button. Button. Dot add on click dot add listener. Okay, so what the heck did I just write there? All right, okay. So this part in here is a delegate. So it's a bit of code that will run when you click the mouse. So what I'm saying here is when the player clicks this button, which is a component that I've attached to the image. So when you click the image, basically, it's going to run this bit of code here. And this add listener is just this nice little handy dandy function that adds this piece of code when the player clicks the image. So what I want to do when they click the image, well, I need to know what level it is. So I need to have public string, let's just call it level ID. And I want to have an event that passes a string back. So I want to have public event. I want to have event handler. Now, event handler is built in. It's part of system, and it's going to be a type string, and it's going to be level clicked. Okay. Now, clicked might not be set. So in order to make sure it has been set, I can do clicked, and I can add a question mark which says, okay, if this hasn't been clicked, don't do anything with it. Otherwise, I'm going to invoke, and then what I'm invoking is I'm going to pass in this script, so I just use this, and then the string I'm going to pass in is level ID. Okay. And that's all I need for the level icon controller. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is go to Atomix, and these are all scripts here, sorry, prefabs, and I'm going to drag level icon into the prefabs thing, and I'm going to delete level icon. So for the canvas, what I'm going to add is another script, but this time, where's my scripts? Scripts, menu, Atomix menus, and then this one here is going to be level select controller. So level select controller, and I'm going to drag that onto here. So now canvas, that's fine. Canvas now has, oops, you can't see that. Move that up there. So canvas now has this level select controller. And level select controller is going to have the name of the resource file that we want to load. And then once we've loaded it, we're going to populate this panel. So we need to know the panel. So if I double click this here, we need to have public panel is it pane? No, it's not pane. What is it called? What is that script called? Oh, is it just hold on a minute. Actually, we just need grid layout group. Grid layout group, grid. We also need to know public game object item prefab. So I've used these before, these underscores, and I never had a problem with them. So I wonder if yeah, see, it works there. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so if I go to prefab here, I'm going to do level icon. I'm going to drag that over to there, and then for the grid, I'm going to drag that one to there, and then that's going to be that set up. So now, what I want to do is let's just create a dummy one. So in the start, I'm going to say game object equals instantiate item prefab go dot set parent parent, set parent, grid dot transform, go dot position equals vector 3.0, just in case. Probably don't need that, but we'll keep that in the because sometimes it like moves it all over the place. And then we want to get the component, so we'll call this icon equals get equals go dot get component level icon controller, icon dot name, no, level name dot text equals water, icon dot level ID equals water. Now I'm already seeing there's a bit of redundancy there, so do we need to have that information there? We might want to have it as a different name, we might want to have it as a different ID, maybe we just leave it as that. So let's see what we have now. When we run this, it should run and then put in water up the top right there. There we go. And it's clickable as well. You can see that it changes the shade there. So that's good. So we just need to be able to fill it in for the rest of these. So I'm going to go back to our, where is it? Atom level, countdown select, no. And, where is that? Level, no. No, it's in Atomic File Loader, okay. So we just need to deserialize this here. Right, so how do we get the file? So if we go back to our level select component, how do we get the file from the resource? So we can do public string level resource file. So our level resource file, oops, hang on a sec, let me just comment this out. Yeah, we don't need that. What did I just delete there? Okay, that's fine. So our level, because we have these different ones in here, so that one's called original. So if I click on canvas and then I choose original, I want to be able to load the resource from a text. So normally what you do is you specify the text asset and then you load it in there. So I want to do text asset, and then this is going to be level file equals resources load text asset, and then it's going to be level resource file. And then I can do the rest of this. And then I can say var level data for that. Okay. So if I hit a breakpoint there, attach that to Unity. In fact, let me set a breakpoint there. Go back, recompile this. Okay, and then run. So this sets a breakpoint here. So the level resource file is original. Level file is all of this, which is perfect because that is the actual text of this file. So if you look inside there, that is the JSON file. Then we load the file, and then we get our level data, which is our level data. Okay, so now all we need to do is, instead of doing this once, we now do for each var level in level data level data dot levels. So each level in level data, we are then going to say the text is going to be level dot name. Level.name. Okay. And we also need to do icon dot clicked plus equals that. Apply. Okay. So we're not going to do anything with it just yet, but we do need to handle when it gets clicked. Okay. So we'll stop that, and then we'll run. Okay, so here we go. We got water. Let me just bring this in a little bit more. Actually, I don't need mixers control. Close tab. There we go. So there we go. We've got bonus section 2. There you go. Bonus section 1. So obviously we need to not have these bonus sections, because like that's kind of the additional ones that we have in here. We've got 2-methyl 2-propanol. Good grief. Propene, propanol, all these kinds of things. So at least everything's working now. So when we click on one of these, that should load that level, and then we can play whatever level it is. So let's try. So what we need to do for this one is, oh, gold, didn't mean to do that. When we click on the icon, we're going to load the level that plays the game. So public string gameplay scene. And we also need to set that icon. We need to set the name of the, let me just get my thoughts right. We need to send that somehow. So I'm going to use player prefs, because player prefs is perfect for this kind of thing. So player prefs, I would not store persistent data in. That's a bad use of this store of value. But if we want to just have something that we can share between scenes, this is a perfect use for it. So I'm going to say set string, and I'm going to call this level name, and then the value is going to be E. So that is going to set that string there, and then I'm going to get an extra bracket in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the scene manager and load the scene. So scene manager load scene gameplay scene, and that will do that. And the gameplay scene, hopefully I've got this set up in here. Build settings. I do not have it in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to scenes, and I'm going to drag level select into there and game into there, into our build settings. And I'm going to change this to game. Okay. So right now, this is just going to start the game. So no matter what one of these I choose, it's going to start the game. So click on ethanol, and it immediately starts into that game there. But you'll notice that it's still H2O. It's not actually ethanol. So what we need to do is go back to our atomic file loader, which is this part here, and at the very top here it says start. It loads the file, and then it just gets the current level, which is just preset to being whatever the current level is. So what we want to do is we want to find the level. So I just realized that this is level ID. So this is just level index. Okay. So let's not do that then. So let's have that as an integer. Let's have that as an integer because we're passing an integer. And then inside level icon controller countdown. Where'd it go? It's gone. Let me go into menus again. Level select.
Okay, so inside here, we're just going to say level ID. What is a level ID? Are they actually? Where are we going? What is happening? Oh, I'm so confused right now. What? Oh, right, that's why it's not going to select that, because it's on the other monitor. Okay, so this does have level ID, which I think is just sequential anyway. That's okay. So level ID is going to be level.id. Oh, that's a string. Oh dear. Int. Okay. Maybe we should change that at some point. Not in this video. And then this one is going to be an int. And let's just change that to level ID. And let's change that to level ID as well. And then let's call that set integer. Okay. So now we have set integer. So now when we go back to, hopefully that all makes sense. Let me just recap what I just did there. So we're going to use the level ID to specify the integer of the level, because when we go to our file loader, it's expecting a level ID. The level ID is in there. So what I'm going to do is, instead of specifying that level there, I'm going to say player prefs level equals player prefs.getID, and it's going to be level ID. Has key ID. So if it has that, otherwise, given the level. Okay, and then we'll just call that verified level. And we'll specify as that. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's just do level equals that, describe level. So if player prefs has the key level ID, we want to get that integer from player prefs. Otherwise, we just use whatever values specified here. That way we can override it if we need to. So if we press water, didn't like that. What? Well, that doesn't make any sense. So level file loader. Okay, so let me just put that there. Attach to Unity. That's I don't understand. Okay, so run there. Level data is that. That's not what I wanted. It is file loader. Okay, that's the one. Alright, so choose water. And we go into here. And level is currently 0. Oh, I see. Okay. So level is level 1. I know why. Okay. Okay, right. Perfectly understandable. Okay.
I need to do a couple of things to get this ready, but I've also noticed that that's going to pass in ID as level 0. So that's level index. So do we have a level 0 here? No, we don't. We have a level 1. Because it's just going to level index, level index. Okay, I need to change this here. So this is going to be level ID. And then I need to do var arena equals level data dot levels dot first or default, and I'm going to use link for this. Level dot ID equals level ID. Oh shoot, yeah, it's gotta be that. Int dot parse. Yeah, we really need to get rid of that. Okay, and then we're gonna say if arena equals null, let me go to here, say Atomix level. Okay. So if that equals null, I'm just going to set arena to be the first level. So arena equals level data dot levels 0. Why? Oh, that's a level. That's gonna be an atomic level. I'm sure we can make that neater, but that's what we're going to have just now. And then level index. Well, it's going to be atomic level instead of level index. Because we've already found that, so there's no point in going back to that array to get that. Okay, so now if we choose level 1, which is water, and I will go back and explain what I just did there. Click on water, we now get water again. So what it was doing before was it was passing in an index. So it's going from 0 to however many levels we have, but instead I want to pass in a level ID, and that level ID is the one that gets set in player prefs. So I had to change this here in this method here to search through all the levels to find the first instance of a level that matched that ID, and that's what I'm doing in here. And again, we really should change this level ID across so that it's an integer, but we'll leave it in there just now because the problem is that the ID is currently set as a string.
which is not ideal, but there we have it. And then the arena is part of the atomic level, and then all I did was just tidy this up here so it uses atomic level rather than going back to trying to figure out what it is. From, you know, trying to do like a first or whatever it is on these both these lines, we already have this value, so it made sense there. Okay, so the reason why this other one is failing is because we don't actually have a mapping for these yet, these methane ones here, these atoms here, because if we go to our atoms inside our game, no, that's not it, atom prefab, here we go. Okay, let's not make it 2D, let's make it 3D. So you'll see that we have our atom here, but when we go into the game, where are we? Scenes, game. Our atom dictionary. Where the hell is the atom dictionary? So that's the atom there. Do I set that up in code? Oh, if that's the case, well, maybe we can do that then. Okay, let me go find that, and then we'll see if we can set it up so we can get the rest of the levels loaded in. So the solution is in here. So we've set up a couple of these, A and G. I think we've set bond right and left. So I need to set those up. I will do this just now. It is actually inside here. So I just need to set this up. I'm going to do that because it's going to be boring otherwise. So let me finish this and I'll show you what I did after I've finished it. Now you notice that I have some mistakes here. I've got top right join, bottom left join, top left join. We don't have them in the atom, so I'm going to go and create them just now, and I'll speed that up for you. I've just roughed these in just now so that it'll work. Now I need to add some things to the script. So if I go to here and double click atom, so we need to have public game object top left join, public object top right join, public game object bottom join, public game object game object bottom right join. And then disable all of these because we don't want them shown, and then go to atom and then top left join, top left join, top right join, bottom left join, bottom right join, and that should fix those ones there. Okay, right, so what I've done is I've filled in these. They're all exactly the same. I'm going to fill them in later on when we get to the later levels. There are some double joints and things, but this is
this should work for the earlier levels anyway. So if I run this now, let's go to game. This is game. So if we go to scenes, level select. So hopefully the first couple anyway should work. So methane should work. Click on methane, and there we go. We have our methane level starting. So we have our what is that? OH4. So we got bonds there. There's a bond down the bottom, and then you got a bond in the bottom there. Okay, so that's that working. Let's see how far we can get into it. So let's do propane. Propene? No, that hasn't worked. Yeah, that hasn't worked. So there's something, there must be like a double bond or something. But you can see that it's got, it's working at the bottom left bond. Oh, and that has worked, but it's too big for the actual screen. So, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to keep that in bounds. Maybe we have to set up a camera. But yeah, that's okay. We're getting there. So we've got level select in. A few things obviously we need to tidy up, but at least that's working. Level select is a go. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll be along shortly with another part. But until that time, thank you again. If you got this far and you like what you saw, don't forget to hit the old like button. And if you want timely reminders when I put up a new video, then hit that subscribe button and notification bell, and YouTube will work its algos and yeah, all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to share on social media as well, because it really does help the channel out. But other than that, thank you again. It's 3 thank yous in a row, but anyway, you know, it's these videos are long. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye bye.